Welcome to the Enterprise DNA Data Visualization Summit 2022. I am Armand van Amersfoort. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm a data experience engineer, but first of all, I would like to thank the people from Enterprise DNA inviting me into this journey. That's the first thing I want to say. And the second one, I think, is thanking you, the Enterprise DNA community, but also the biggest community in the world, the Power BI community. I'm very grateful to be part of your journey, and even if it's just a small piece, I can learn you, and I will bring all my knowledge to the table for you on LinkedIn, and for in this situation within the summit. I would say thanks from the bottom of my heart. So if you don't know who I am, just look at my LinkedIn profile, reach out to me, connect to me, then we can talk about our passion, Power BI and BI and design. So that's what I want to say in the first place. So thanks. Okay, let's go to the topics I have created for you based on this summit. It will take about 30 minutes, I think, today for you. After that we can do a Q&A. So I'm ready. Well, the first one is design and row level security. And I think those two can be combined together, because what we do a lot is working with row level security for many customers. What I do is create designs, and those two needs to be combined sometimes. So what I will do is, in an environment, I will show you here on the desktop version what you can do with row level security and design in the first place. So, for example, if you don't know what row level security is, then you have to go to YouTube and look all those amazing videos about row level security, try it out, and after that come back to this one and just play with design. So what I did here is, for example, look at my roles. I have 3 simple roles. I have a boss, a manager, and an employee. This is a Dutch name. And so what I did in my design is saying, okay, if I am not a role, so a default one, then you don't see items like buttons with URLs on it, destinations, colorized buttons saying, okay, you can click on me. And what you do in the first place is bringing the tooltip to the table, saying, okay, based on your role, you don't have access to this page. This is for a healthcare organization, and I don't mention their name, but this is saying I'm a default user, so it's not for me, this environment. So when I look at this as for example, a boss, and I say view as role boss, then it will swap over to a boss who can see 3 items, who can drill down to those underlying hidden pages, for example. So if I click on it, it will say, hey, it's a different tooltip, and again go through this tab. So how does it work? Well, I will show you. I will say stop viewing, but never mind. We go to the first button, and this is just a normal button, as you can see, but in the styles, you can see all those fields that are conditional in the first one. So from your text colors to the text itself, to the fill, to the border color, as you can see, and the action with its tooltip here, over here, you can see all those elements are conditional formatted. And if you look at just one of them, a destination, for example, so the URL and the button, it is a field value saying, okay, this button is called the region. It could also be button 1, 2, 3, etc. But in this small demo with crap data, it's region. And it say, okay, look at my field in the navigation button URL. So when I look at my measures inside of it, it's really quick and dirty, but saying, okay, it's the region navigation button URL. And what it is telling, saying, okay, so this is the name of the button. What is your role? And here it's saying, if I am a boss, then I can go to investments. Then is this tab over here. for the same for manager and employee, but if I'm not one of those three, then it will be blank. So that's the first one. And so in the tooltip as well, it's the same one. It's the navigation button tooltip. It's over here saying, okay, if one of your three roles is set to your person, then you can show text like, okay, investments. And if not, so you're not one of those three roles, then it's saying based on your role, so you can change it. And then the tooltip is changing because you say, okay, I want a model, view as, and I will pick a manager for you to swap. Like this one saying, hey, this is not available for me. So that's what you do with colors as well. So in an active state and an inactive state from a button, it is better not to say, okay, a red cross, a red color saying, you cannot. It's more of a negative feeling for me. So what you do is saying, okay, with a light gray accent and a light gray text color, you can say, you cannot pass, you may not enter. And then you have this situations where you just show certain environments, certain design assets to certain roles. That's what you also can do with text, icons, colors inside your complete interface as well. If you want to trigger certain roles, certain persons, then you can use role level security and design. So that was my first topic. After this complete, 30 minutes summit from me, you can ask questions to me. So the second one is build a designful app. So what I want to show you is I go back to my workspace, clicking on my app icon over here, and what you normally think viewing is a list style with the apps, and these are demo apps. I always work with a gallery, and I see larger thumbnails. For me, it's more visual, more appealing than the list view. What I do miss, but that's more of a painful one for me, is saying I want to drag and drop them into a custom sort order. So here you can say I want it by name, alphabetic, but I want them to be, I want to drag and drop them, but that's not possible. How you create an app, for now it's not important, because I think those knowledge can be found on YouTube. That's regarding my time, it's not okay for me to tell you from A to Z right now. But if you have an app, and I think 99% of the time I work with apps as an end product for my customer, it's very important to know what you can do with an app. So I will go to, for example, an overall app I've created for dashboard design, just some overall things I want to show the people. And I will tell you more about this one later on. But what you do is, those are custom, or those are reports in the same workspace, and you can create an app. Then you will go also to this one and saying, okay, what are the parts of that app I can change? Sorry, I can change. That's a very important one. So if you start creating an app or you're changing an app, this is the screen you see. So the name of the app is very important, the icon is very important, but also a little bit of description. But what is also based on design important is to know what can I do visually. So your app theme color is a predefined, that sucks in my opinion, but it's a predefined color palette. So these ones is, if you look over here, the blue or the green one is this one. But also if I say save it to me, then you can see exactly, and it's saved very fast, which parts are the green ones. So I created the green one. So this one you need to know is the one you can set up inside your app theme. I hope in the future, and I will always use this one because the colors are inside my interface and not the interface on the app site, sorry. So I start default with a gray, and I hope in the future Microsoft will make it more company colored, so you can use your own colors here with a color picker, RGB field, hexa, etc. For this one I will use the normal one. And so what you need to know as well, if you create an app, then what you can do is also normally here is only text. So what you also can do is work with emojis. So in this dashboard I've bring some emojis to show you. These are folders that are open. That's also nice to know. And this is a very clean way. So this icon is also important, what I've showed you a minute ago. A clean way to start with your app, knowing this color can be changed. But what's also important is to say, okay, you can do, for example, I will show you two things. If you start with a full colored environment, full colored report, that's your first step in the report. This is your report with 3 tabs in it. This is one report called AMWB. So what you can do is start with a full colored, and I will go back to this one. This is the PBX from that app. So I will delete my auto recovery. So I will switch over to the app. So the welcome one is this one, is this one. So what you can do over here is create a sort of a starting point. From there you can or guide your end users with button inside your interface, or saying, okay, when you start, it's always this first area. I do not create buttons on the interface in the last months myself, because if you extend your report, you have also extend your buttons inside this one. So I think this is a good navigation. It is a default navigation as well. So if you switch to mobile, etc., this one will be okay regarding usability. And if you bring it on to this sheet, it's not okay. So for this one, I say, okay, this is what you've seen. What you see after that is I create a one pager. This is this app. Oh, hold on. I will click on overview again. I didn't touch it. So for this one, I created a custom page. It is an extended page, as you can see, with information on it. So what I did here is saying, okay, my page size is custom. It's 2350 pixels height. It is a fixed weight. But what I didn't do is start over here with my logo, because if I start over here with my logo and end over here with my KPIs here, then when I publish it to my app, everything will stretch out, and my logo is over here and my KPIs are here, because it fills, you can see here, the zoom with the screen. So I want more information on my screen. So what I did is creating sort of a fixed part. So all my shapes, all my elements do not cross these lines. Sometimes they do, but that's more of a design thing. So if you scroll down like this, you can see that you can bring in a shape that's coming from your left side and stop over here to split the screen into 2 elements. But that's more of a, yeah, how do you call it? A nice way to saying, okay, I know this is the grid. And what you also do is, if these are the grid lines over here, how do you call it? The interface grid. Then this one is aligned with this one. So the design kind of thing is always aligned with each other. Alignment is key. So if you start building, then start this way. So this is your area where there isn't any data for now. But on this area, there is quite a lot of data. There is a Base64 kind of KPI. These are KPIs with comparison with inside text values. This is just a shape. So keep it simple. This is a shape. This one is a shape. And play with not only saying, okay, this is what you normally shall do, but keep it just in line with this one. So of course you can do things like this, but sometimes just play around with not only equal things. it has to have a pattern saying, okay, this is my border, these are my, what do you call it, border interface or guidelines interface, like this one. It's fixed on a certain weight, and I don't know what the weight is, but 953, it can be 950, but okay, never mind. And keep it over there. And what you see here is just some default elements inside your report. These are self-made KPIs with shape, icon, KPI, ready. This one as well. It's just a simple way how you can extend your information, bring the focus on not all elements, but the elements that are in your area. If you publish that as well, then you see over here you have quite a nice web looking app with all the information inside of it. Those elements are working very well. These are small KPIs that are working. And what you can do as well is create a menu with, for example, saying, okay, if I touch this one, what you see here is that there is a black shape behind this element with an opacity of 80%. So your focus is fully on this one. And these are just, and can be, menu items that go through different tabs. For example, this one or this one, or to external things. But this is just a way saying, okay, how can you bring in some information? And you see it's really quick and dirty to these elements. But what you also see is that there isn't a filter panel on your right side. So what I did is create with this one just a small plus sign saying, okay, you want filters, then go to the filters. These are your filters. These are default filters with this small one over here and just some predefined items over here. You can close your filters over here. So you can just click on rural, for example, as an example. And all your elements are changing. This one is changing as well. The Base64 is also calculating, saying, it doesn't change. Okay, here you can say close filter panel. Boom. So this is an example of how you deal with a designful app. And you go from your desktop with your custom width one. So the next one with how to create a designful app, in my opinion, is the one, and I will shut down this one. It's like this. So also delete the recovered ones for you. And I go back to an app that is called Van de Valk. It's a large hotel company in the Netherlands. So what I do over here as well is bringing no buttons to the interface. It is just, and I'll go back to this one, very simple. It is a shape with a border, not a border, a shadow inside of it. It's the PNG file. This is a shape as well. And this shape is just an opacity of 10% with, on top of it, a little small text. What I do is not bringing the design element, so the background image, in the canvas. What I did was bring it to the wallpaper. So this one is this one. So it brings the complete wallpaper area. So what I do here is from scratch bring in the complete area. So you have a one view, and it's bigger than the canvas background, because the canvas background, and I can show you, is this one. This is your canvas background. But what you've got, if you use it in an app and you publish it, and you will see that these are white areas, this area is white. So for this one, it's better to say, bring it to the wallpaper one. So in the second overview, that's a really different one than the previous one. I have activated my filter by not saying, okay, I want this eye on and off. So if you put it off and you publish it, it won't be in the workspace and in the app. So if you hide it for now, and not hide it, sorry, for now, show it, it will be published in an app. So if you look at my second page, you see that the filter is activated and you can open it, and these are the elements that you can filter. I have used the same filter background as the canvas, so it's not really heavy. Most of the time I see a lot of heavy elements on the right side, but I think it should be clean. It can be heavy, but often it's needs to be clean. And so what I did over here is working in a different way, because I know the app is the end product. So when I think about my desktop environment, what you normally see is what if people start, for example, creating, and I will show you in the plus, creating, everybody is not sticking elements to the side. Everybody is making some area spaces over here, bringing another one, saying, okay, this is aligned well, very cool. This one as well. So you have the equal width over here, but when you use an app, there is always a space around it, like you see over here. That's your wallpaper space, like here. So if you also use the space on the interface, then you have a lot of space here. So to bring it to the table like this on your interface, you have to go through the example I've created for you here. So what I did here is make shapes or buttons, but I will tell you in another topic, and then bring it to the end of the canvas. Bring it to the borders of your canvas like this, so your items can be large. And what you see is that even when you use the end of the canvas here, like I did, it will stick to the canvas. When I publish it, and this is my end product in the app, there is quite a lot of space over here. So it's more of a, how do you call it? A complete interface. You have a gray area a little bit around it, because that is your wallpaper area. That is because you see that it isn't there because I used the background in the wallpaper. But when I switch to this one, you see that there's nice space. And when I go to the desktop, so how did I create it, was also show it here. So what I have to do over here is also stick it to the bottom as well here. Create it so a little bit that it's more down, and also take a lot of space over here. So, and what you also try to do also, if you are really into design, just align the items, and also try to use the axis in one line. Sometimes it's hard depending on the visuals you use, but so that's what I did. And what I also did, but that's more of a second one, but not for now, is using gray styles inside your area. It looks very, what do you call it? Not hard, but soft. It is, what you can do is make the contrast between the lines and the bars bigger. So don't use heavy colors for this one, because it's not necessary. So that is what I want to try to say in this one. Now, for example, if you want to create a certain way of two kind of navigation areas, this is the same one. So what I did here is in the AMB app, like we discussed 2 minutes ago, this one, still the same. When I go to the desktop, what I did was stick the items from bottom to left. I do not use a shape as a background, but what I also do is just two lines saying, okay, these are my dividers, and then grab the information in 4 pieces. It's really clean, I think. It's really big, so you can use big elements because you stick them to the border, stick them to the boundaries of your interface. And this wallpaper background, there isn't a background, but this wallpaper area here brings the how do you call it, the complete environment really clean and nice. So what I did here on the left side is just insert a blue line, and I can come back to the one, hold on. So this is just a blue shape, sorry, not a line. And what I did was insert, and I get some really nice reactions to it. I insert just some buttons saying, okay, this is a button, I'm in an active state here, I'm at home, this is my home. And when I hover this, you get directly more information saying, okay, cool, info, oh, this is maps, okay. Because not every icon is telling what's inside of it. Because maybe you see this as not a map. Maybe for you it's not a reset, but a recover or a go back to, and this hamburger is not for everybody a menu. So what I did here is very simple, saying, and I hope the PBX is started. So what you see over here is, and I will create it for you, is just a shape in the background of it. It's just a blue shape. And these are just, and I want to show it inside of it, buttons. And these are buttons with a hover functionality. So the default one has no text, has a white icon. If I look at the icon, the noun, this is from the noun project. I work with the noun project. These are really cool elements, really cool icons, just use it. So noun project is a web environment where you can create a lovely icons and grab lovely icons in different colors. But this is a white one. And when I have a hover function, this will be an orange one. And the text will also be saying, hey, reset data. So in the default one, I have no text. And the on hover saying it is a Segu, that's your font family. It is reset data. So this is exactly what I did with the background color as well. So you have a fill in the default one that has 100% transparency. That's the default. This is default. I can touch it because you see the non-transparency. But look at this one, 100%. When I do not touch it, and when I touch it is a 0%. Then you have this kind of situations. I think this is a UX UI plus for your app environment, but also just to bring nice, desirable things into your workspace. That's the second topic of my Summit one. Interactive KPIs with Base64 Images. That's a cool one, I think. So I will shut down these ones. I will go to my design Summit part 3. I will open this for you. So in a quick and dirty way, I will show you how you can create Base64 images without tooling. So go to base64/image.de. You can find it by saying in Google, I want a Base64 converter, then this is the biggest one. So what you can do over here is, and I will wait for this one, still a recovery one, so I will remove that. It's demo material, so no problem. This is a sample of 2 simple KPIs, don't mind the data, where you can switch between and show the information based on your KPIs with red, green, top or bottom images, smiling, crying images. So if you look at the Q1, what you see, hold on. It is telling me. So in Qt2 everything is the same, and I hope there is an example where it isn't the same. Still everywhere. Here it is. In Q4 this one is crying, but my revenue is green. It's okay. Even it's to the bottom, doesn't mind. It's more the picture that is saying, okay, this is a green and a red one, but also a top and a down arrow. And this one is a non-crying thing together with a crying thing, because now it smiles. And when I see Q4, it is and it's quick and dirty. And what you see also here is telling people with text values saying, okay, it is increased or decreased. So often people have to read a lot of things to saying, okay, is it better or non-better? So what you can do as well is saying it is increased or it is decreased. And you can also use it, that's the third one, with colors. But if you are colorblind, it's sometimes hard. So that's what I do with insightful KPIs based on Base64. So what do I do to create a certain Base64 image? Well, what you need to do this is one third-party element called Image Pro Cloud Scope. You can grab it in this app source over here. If you have it on your screen, then you can use it. And what I have is the image URL is a measure. And what is the measure? It's called icon zakelijk. Zakelijk means business, but for you it's this one. So if I open it, it's a very simple one saying if my sales VAR moderation is bigger than 0, then show me rood icon, otherwise green icon, red icon, green icon. So what is my red icon? Well, my red icon is a hidden measure, but that measure is a Base64 image, like this one. So how can I transform a PNG, a JPEG image into a Base64 image? Well, that's very simple. We go back to the website I have shown you 2 minutes before, saying, okay, what do I want to click? For example, I want, maybe in my downloads, I have an image, this one, for example, and telling me, hey, it is okay, and say, show me the code. Then I have the vote icon, for example. Here you have a CSS background. That's not for me. It is this one, data image JPEG Base64. And I say, okay, select all of them, copy it. What I say is the red one I want to change, for example. I go here, and from this side to this one, I will bring in the Base64 icon I just created, and hopefully it's a demo, it will work. Aha, voila. So what you see now is my image is transformed into script image. That's the Base64 image with the website that is created it for me. It can be done in different ways, but this is the simple way. And then if you insert it inside a measure that is hidden, so I have a green one and a red one, then everything is okay. You put in the cloud scope because there isn't a default way you can insert image URLs inside your Power BI, so it has to be done with cloud scope. I hope in the future it can be done with the normal image one within your Power BI. But for now, so I bring in this one saying, okay, I want the measure icon zakelijk. And this is the one. So the red icon is this one and the green icon is, so if I use Q3 for now, I know it's not okay, but it tells me, hey, you have, it's okay, it's not okay. And then you can work with smileys and all sorts of situations, medical image 2, 3, but this is a way you handle your Base64 images. And that's the one I also had in the ANWB version, but I use it a lot for many customers because it works very nice. You can do it this way. And for example, this one, it is increased by, that's also a very nice one. I will bring it over here. So what it is a text area with a dynamic title. Look at this, it's a dynamic title, and that title will saying to me there is a field value that is called sales VAR, and I will bring it on to you, sales VAR title plus men. So in my sales, don't mind the data, it's here saying, okay, show it to me. And then you can also saying, okay, I want text before it. So this is a way, and just post the video after it so you can bring it on yourself. I don't explain how this works. It's really easy for you. But then you can say, okay, I want the value, but I want to also have a pre-selected text, how do you call it? With decreased, increased, you can bring in the information yourself. You know how to handle with this. So that you put into a conditional field like this. I think that will work very nice and easy. And after that you can also say, for this one, for example, that the text is the same as this one, but this one has also a different way of handling the degrees is green. Why? Well, because I have a font color here that is also has a conditional on inside of it with a rule saying, okay, if the value is, never mind the values, but if it's more than, it will be green, otherwise it will be red. So for the non-colorblind people around this globe, it's a plus plus. So, and you have the image showing you that it's not okay or okay, and you have the text value saying it's decreased and increased, and you have the color saying it's bad or it's good. So it's a KPI that works very well. You can also use comparisons inside of it, but for me this one is more how you work with Base64 based on a KPI. And I hope in the future, again, this will be also be possible within the normal image from this one, saying, okay, I want just an image or a button, for example, where you can use that sort of information. But for now, that was again the topic here over here. For example, I can show you, this is the Base64 one over here. That's really nice. You can also use a small one over here saying, it's a red and green. This one as well is the one I show you in the title, just with the information next to it. So these are really nice, and I have to set off my header icons, I see, but this is a really nice way of handling your data. It's quick, it's telling more than you know. Hold on. Well, for the third one, I have a lot of nice things I want to show you. For example, that's my fourth topic, that is how to set up a professional interface. So this is, for me, within 10 minutes I show you how I deal with certain environments, certain tricks, certain tips. So hold on, Pijnenburg, Button Magic and Legenda. So what I do is go to Pijnenburg, that's lovely food in the Netherlands, and saying, okay, so what I did for this demo is, if you hover this, it's okay, you have a normal one with a tooltip, but if I hover this, look at this. It is not a text value, it is not a text box. What I did here is quite nice, I think. I got a lot of people saying, oh, how do you do that? And this is the tooltip, more information, I have to put it off. But if I hover this one, and even for this, you grab the attention saying show more inside information. And if you click on it, you can go to a next page or a bookmark, and then you have to deal with this kind of information. So it can be very nice if you have sheets with insights that you have to explain to certain people. What you normally do is put an info icon, put a text area next to it, or grab it together in a button and saying, okay, bookmark on it. But what did I do? I used 2 in 1. So this is more of a background color with inside of it is this value. So what I do, and I will show it to you, show the magic, that is, it has to load. Yeah, it has. Okay. It is a button. In my world, buttons are amazing. I use a button with a border radius in the color red. I insert an icon inside that button with the V alignment that is top. So I will show it when it's loaded. Is it there? It is. Look at this one. It is a button, and I'm very hyped to do this. It is a button, and the text in that button is this one, total sales. It's by default, but here you can vertically align it to the top, saying I don't want it 1 or 0, I want it 20. I want it 55 from the left over here, so no 5 but 55. So what I do in the default state as well, bringing an icon, that's the white one over here, bring it to the left and to the top as well. And then what do I do when I set on hover? I want a different text, show more information, but because it is also an area. So it's more of, normally you have background shapes. You can use it in PowerPoint as well, but it's, for me, the last month's better to do it with shapes. But you can do it with PowerPoint. And then you have a 2-in-1. So it is a background environment for my analytics part. But also it is a show more insights, and you can handle this with no tooltip. Bam, I set it off. But you can set it with a page navigation, a bookmark, what you want. So that's really cool, I think. It can be really handy. And what's also really handy is, what you can do also in this situation is saying, if you have an agenda, and you have for this one, well, the new elements over here are here, right, left, 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 top, center, is I stick it to the right, and when I grab it and bring it on more like this, see what happens. You have a button saying, okay, I want more information. You have your area over here, and you have your agenda, and it's nicely aligned with your title. So it's plus, 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 etc. So I think it's amazing to do things like this. So in your online area, you can see this one. And if you click on it, I've just made a, what do you call it, more expanded one. You say, okay, then you go to another page, for example, but it can also be a bookmark with a bar chart. This one is a very simple one. Look at it. It is just I don't know how do you spell it, trapezoid shape. It's normally it's a really ugly one, but hey, I found it really amazing in this situation. Otherwise it is just red with inside text values, and I made it just on the sheet. Stick to this one, stick to the bottom, and then you have a little bit of different way to handle your information. This one is a button as well. So what you do here is saying, okay, it is white and it has an icon, it is centered with a little bit of padding, then it's just one thing. What you normally see is shape, on top of it an image icon. Those are two elements. The performance is really not okay. Bring everything inside one element if that is possible. So if you go back to design and Power BI, then knowledge of the tool is key. It's not always being creative. Creativeness, you can a little bit of, how do you call it? Learn it yourself, look at different people, also create what you like in normal life, like I did with Pokemon and Kit Kat and Christian Dior and Michael Jackson and other crazy things. But if you replicate things from different persons, then know the tool from A to Z. For me, it doesn't matter if it's Power BI or Tableau or ClickSense or Looker. It's if I know the boundaries from that tool, what can I do with it and can't do with it, then you can do amazing things with it. So that is my first one. So Pijnenburg I will close down. When we look at our sheet, and oh man, it goes very hard, the collapsed menu on my Rolex. So when I go to this one, I say no, remove and go blank. I will show you my Rolex example. Rolex, here. Hold on, where is the one? Here is the one. Okay. I will wait for the Rolex example. Watch the time for now. Oh, it's almost there, but a little bit more time for me. Yeah, what I do here is this menu, for example. I will put down this more at the bottom. Where is my Rolex? Here it is. It will start, I think. Yeah. Well, what I did here is create a Rolex environment just to show data in a lifestyle manner, in a one-pager, based on different techniques with a huge high-end, how do you call it? A high-level background video, but I also use this kind of situations where you just say, okay, show me with more of a web kind of situation, where if you click on it, the rest will show you. But this is Power BI, and this is very simple to create, this one as well. And then we go to the bottom. But for now, this is a technique, and I don't say how I created this, because I hope you know how I created it. If you hover on a complete shape, then the rest will stick to it. That's hard. Normally when you hover it, then this won't be green. This is white, green, white, green, if you look at the text. So just try it at home, and a Rolex as well. So if you hover it, this one, the image, will be not the default one if you look at it. But for now, I have a bookmark created. When you click on menu, what you can do is also, and this again is a shape behind it that's black, has a transparency of 20%, so you see the area but it's not focused anymore. Your focus is on the right side of it. So what I did is and if you use products or manufacturers in your environment, then you can show it in a really amazing way. So this is just simple. When you hover it, you see the image is changing a little bit. So what you can do to grab that in this matter is, and I want to show it here, this one for example, I have to, it's in a group, so I have to click it again. It's a button. Why? Well, I have explained in one of the amazing videos from Jeroen from Get Response from the Netherlands. Look at his YouTube as well, it's amazing. Why you do not work with images inside Power BI, but more with buttons. It supports a lot of image file types like WebP, SVG, PNG, and that sort of things. But what I did here is, this image is an icon, and when you hover it, default had this no padding. When you hover it, it has a 4 padding, so it will increase or decrease, but it doesn't matter. It will change itself, change its shapes from big to small a little bit more, so your interaction is there. People know where they are. Usability, another one, and know where they are, know where to click. And if you click on it, and I will bring it to this one, if you click on it, that's also a nice one for you to see, is I create a new environment. So this is my Yachtmaster watch. I will click on this one. Yeah, here it is. So what I did over here is, it is a different page with a complete black transparent shape. Oh, this is the complete, hold on, group, and I have to show you the shape of that group. And if you want to show you, yeah, here it is. This is my shape. Look at this. And it's a default one, even if this one is cut it off. So you have to know the tool as well, what I said, because this is a snipped tab with top right and a rotation of 270, so it's on my top left. So when I bring it on over there, there is a gap, and that is for purpose because I want a close icon in that gap. So if you look at the live version in this one, look at this. So you can say over here close. Can point it out with an arrow saying close, but it is not high-end school. It is acknowledgement of the tool. So shapes, snapped tab, top right, rotate it so it's on the top left, for example, bring it on fully, full wide, full height, and then on top of it, what it is on top of it, well, it's simple. It's another image. It's a right triangle, and if I look at the style of it, it has a fill that is green. You can see it. It has an icon, but what's the effect when I do this like this? You see there is also a shadow one. So default, my shadow is transparency 100, so there isn't. And when I hover it, it's 70%. There's 30% is coming to your interface. So this is just a simple way, UX again, to show people, hey, hover it, click, bam, back to your default. Well, this is a small part of how I worked out things with the Rolex. And for this one as well, this is just an icon, a button as well, icon on it, and it has a bookmark saying, okay, bookmark on only this area. You can bookmark on your complete interface, but you can bookmark on selected visuals. Use it. So nothing happens with the rest of the interface. It's only happening on, as you can see, it doesn't scroll, it doesn't stick to the top. It is where it is, and it slides from left to right. The only thing I'm missing, if you're watching Microsoft, is animation, interaction design. That's the part from other tools, and I don't tell what tool, but this is missing. So if I say bam, my bookmark, then I want to a little bit of slide, a little bit of interact, saying okay, from left to right there is a slide, or there is a focus mode, easy out, easy on, but okay, that is a missing part in my opinion. So this one as well, I will repair it, bring it over there, I will delete it, and I go to my sheet saying okay, Vattenfall. For now I have 10 minutes, so it will take 7 minutes to bring it onto you, and then my fully hour is there. Oh my god. Okay, Vattenfall. What did I do there? Well, it is a nice one for you as well. It is. Most of the times when you're creating themes inside your Power BI, so if you want to deep dive into design, then you have to know everything about color palettes. You can create the ones with colors yourself. That's a website, for example, or Adobe library kind of websites. But you have also have a technical background more on how you work with JSONs. And that's a technique where you can change your theme, and not only the colors, but also everything around access, titles, visuals, elements. And there is a page from Microsoft where you can find all of these elements, what you can change, what you can set to default. So if people drag a bar chart into your environment, how does it look like? But for me, for example, if I create a menu like this, so you have an overall menu and you have sub menus. It can also be very handy. It's a really easy, simple, well done thing. And I want the blue bar on the same area. As you can see here, it's not, and I click, oh no, I click on the blue, that it's nothing. It's not a shape, even with the logo. It's not, it's in the background. But I don't want users, when they open a new tab, to bring it manually. Why? Because Vattenfall needs to be on the really exact same location as it is here. Same as the blue one. It don't have to be thicker. It don't have to be stick to the left. No. This is the way I want to handle it. So I created a small code inside your JSON, because you can do a lot with JSON if you know everything about theming. So here is your theme, your default ones, but you can also save your current one. And if you save it, then deep dive into it. What can I do inside it? And if you change certain things, saying I want my font family to be Calibri, and you browse it and insert it, you get your own custom theme, like Vattenfall in this situation. And in that theme, you can also say my default background is, for example, this one. And what is this one? Well, if I plus it, boom, you see that the logo and the blue bar is here, plus is still over there. It's nothing you can do, but what you can do is really quick and dirty create, for example, saying, okay, these are my elements for my menu. And if you have another one saying this is not stuck, where it sticks, sometimes it's hard. So it is not stuck, but it's, for example, I don't know, people. So people, ready. That's a new one. Well, if I want a new people page, then I say, okay, you have plussed already. Now, for example, my people page, this will be people. Boom. Copy paste all the elements that are there. But this one is the active one, but this needs to be the active one. So this is the one I will use in my format painter. That's also the one I use a lot. Saying, okay, I like this one, but it has to be there. And this one is that one. So 2 clicks and you're done. You have an active one called people. You have your sub ones that is there. You have a people one for the destinations. So how do I use this one? So if you plus, it will be part of your JSON. Well, that is, this is my JSON file. Boom. This is just a small one, and I will say view word wrap. You say, oh my God, but what happened is these elements are, this is just one element that's saying my page should have a background. It's named my background. It's scaling like fill fit of auto. And what this does, if you insert it here in this area, look at this. So it's called my background. My background. It has a fill. It has a fill. But what is my background? Well, it is a Base64 image, like we have discussed 1 hour ago. So if you want a different background, for example, he needs to be darker blue, go to the website I just showed you, insert a background image, and then change it inside this one and call it, for example, background image 2. So go to your canvas, go to your theme, say browse for themes. Go to this one saying examples. I've created another one, background image 2, and voila! What it does over all the pages, and it's not the one I want, but it's okay. It's the blue colored, and as you can see, because it's driven by its theme JSON, it's very blue. So of course I have to grab this one as blue as well, but it's more, you can quick and dirty change this one. You can set it to fit, to fill, you can change your this one, and if you don't want it, so you start over here saying then just saying I don't want it. Done, clear. But the default one, it's driven by your JSON, it's inside your team, so this one, it's a very nice one. So it's not only be creative, it's always be creative and know how to deal with it inside your Power BI. I love Microsoft because I know the tool very much. I know where the boundaries are. And with my creative brain, you can do amazing things. And you can do as well. My last one, it's Christian Dior. It's lifestyle reporting. Well, what did it do for Christian Dior? And I have to go to branding. Where is my Christian Dior? Boop, here it is. Christian Dior. Please show me what I have done over there. Well, this was a report shown by almost 500,000 viewers. That was amazing for me. People liked it very much. It is plain. It is simple. It is filled with tips and tricks. Filled with nothing. Because that's I think the best part of this area. It is, like you can see, it is filled with the amazing Christian Dior. That's the first one, that's the logo. What I also try to do is use a bar chart like this and also reflect it like this. That's a technique that can be very easy, and I will show you how you can do it. Because if I click on these 3 elements, you see that those elements are also reflecting to it. If you look at this one, look, this one, this one, this one. That's great. Well, that's the first one. So look at how you can interact. That's amazing, I think. The second one is the one I just explained to you in my AMVB app, is the one with explain what the icon's showing you. This one is, it's a 3D version. This one is saying, okay, open the menu. So if I click on it, my menu will be opened. And what will it tell me? Well, I can show the 2020 analytics to my dashboard. I can show the product, but I can also use my default, so everything is default. For example, this is the analytics from the mix. It is demo dashboard, so I want to show rural. You can see that this bar chart is changing, but also this one. So the urban, the youth, the rural, the mix, you can switch from A to Z. That's amazing. I will explain how we'll do this in 1 minute. But what I also want to do is say, I want 2021, 2020 inside of it. Well, how do I create this? This is also a line chart, and you can hide it or show it. Look at this, amazing. This is also done with a bookmark with selected visuals. Nothing happens on this one, so it doesn't reload. It doesn't trigger your eyes to be, well, what is happening? If you refresh your complete environment, your fully focus will be renewed. So this is what I didn't do. It is an all selected bookmark technique. That's the first one. The second one is also nice in my opinion, is saying, okay, I want the shoes to be part of my environment. So if I click on it, then I have changed my bar chart like this. It is still a bar chart because if you switch on it, look at this, it is still there. It is still bringing me the sales from January. It is still interact with each other. Like you can see, this one is heavier. It's amazing. What you also can do is this one. This is still default. So this shoe can also be this shoe. Can also be this one on top. Look at this. On top of your environment. It's quite amazing, isn't it? And what you also see is, Joe, it is lifestyle into data. It brings you the sales from January to December. It brings you the shoe that we're talking about. That's the first one. If I skip and go back to it, what I also can do, and then I go to my desktop to show you how I did it, was it is from 1D, I will go to 3D. Bam. It is a 3D experience. You, for example, show your collection of Dior here, saying, oh my god, you see the bars are changing, the background are changing, so your bar is growing into 2 and 3D as well. Well, it's quite a nice story, but it's very simple. But that's, if you know how to handle the tool, you can do amazing things. In the last 2 minutes I will show you how I did it. And then you can create it yourself, do the most amazing things with Power BI. So this one I will shut down as well. And we a little bit wait until Christian Dior pops up in my Power BI environment. Hold on, here it is. Oh yeah, sure, auto recover. Remove. Well, what I did here was a gradient background fill, and it is fitted because it has a repeating one. That's the first one. It's a background. It's very small, but because I say fit, it will vertically repeat itself. So performance is okay. It is a really small one, but it's repeating itself because I said fit. The second one is just a bar chart. No problem. Labels are on, the bar chart is on, there is a total sales to it. No problem. This one is just a simple shape. No problem. You can bring in different colors. This one, for example, whoa, hold on. This is a bar chart. It is. Yes, it is. But what is the key magic that I said? Look at it. Invert axis. That's the golden key. I said invert axis. Change the color of it. Hide my axis over here. And voila. You have the vertically aligned axis. And it will also have the same tooltip as you can. And it's interacting with each other. I think it's amazing to do that. Look at it. Boom. Hide it. Boom. Okay, that's the first one. This one you know already. This is the view saying, okay, default there is menu, on hover, open menu. So you get this one, okay? And how do I build the 3D chart? Well, it's a little bit of creativeness, how do you call it? It's very simple. And I will break it for you. It's a simple bar chart like this with a little shape over here, the same shape, and a smaller bar chart version behind it. So this is how 3D works, and I know a lot about 3D as well, but this is simple because this one is just the same bar chart as that one, but it is not as big as that one, as you can see. So it will interact with this, it's the same data, so it will interact with this one. So if I click on this one, hold on, I have to fix it, but then the background will also be changing. Look at it. If I click on, you see it? Look, so your nature is growing, this one is growing. This is a bar chart as well, this one. Look, this is the bar chart from, if I look on Barba, Kurus, so those three together inside a little one is a block, is a 3D bar. So, and if you set them next to each other, and I will clean it up again, it was really broken, then you have a 3D kind of bar chart in my Christian Dior environment, saying, okay, this is amazing. And I think, yeah, I will end up with this one, go back to my PowerPoint, and it's around 1 hour from now. I want to say thanks to all of you. I want to say, hopefully we will meet in LinkedIn. And if you need some courses, I do a lot of courses for a lot of companies worldwide. I don't mention their names because it has to be privacy. But I do a lot of courses, trainings, design trainings, inspiration trainings. Let me know if you need me. You can DM me. But again, Enterprise DNA, thanks for having me. And hey, go to all the speakers out there from Ben de Jonge to Reed Haven to everybody on the course, Nova Silva as well. Use them to trigger your brains and know everything about Power BI. God bless you and have a nice day.